Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Out of the gun, Stafford. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air, Stafford on 2nd down. This one complete to Theo Riddick. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Here we go. Hey, tag 32. Zero.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Michael Bannon in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, probably that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Throwing now is Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep for the Lions, it's Golden Tate. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over as the season winds down and you look at them in totality. You know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson, finding some room at midfield. And finally down at the 32-yard line. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Christian Jones. He's the one who finally gets him down for what will wind up being a loss of 16 yards. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they have the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolved. You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
On the return, it's Tate. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. second and 10. Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On third down, Stafford out to the flat for Reddick. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now Reddick, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Flush to his right. And his pass incomplete. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? One for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around. Not having that success, might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. On play action, Wentz. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hurry up, get set.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, it's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Timmy Jernigan breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him again. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Stafford on 1st down. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Just beating the play clock, Stafford. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. They've got his man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. The 20. Whoosh. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a third-day selection. Anyone after the fourth round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Stafford now to throw. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. Brandon Graham. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to wind up in air. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. Touchdown, Detroit! A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's airing. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Wentz. Going up top. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Flushed out right. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Misses yet again, and the struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet arm, not in sync at all. He ends up throwing that one past his receiver that's open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Play action. Now Wentz. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Devon Kennard in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's Riddick. Got some room at the 30. That good for 19 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On the ground, it's Riddick. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And complete to Zach Ertz. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is caught at the 20. And he'll be taken down all the way inside Detroit's 20. Wentz able to hook up with Aguilar for a big gain. 64 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now Wentz. Quick hitch complete. It's Gibson. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you'd think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Again, it's Johnson. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. A first down carry here for Johnson, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal.
21.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal.
Set. Waiting. Ready. Level here. Let's go right here.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
Omaha tonight.
They'll give it to him up the middle. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Stafford. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Wentz now on 1st down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Doing with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Wentz. Got to have this one. And he connects with Ertz. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Throwing on first is Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Eagles on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing now is Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On first down at Stafford. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a handoff. Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
To throw on third down, Stafford. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Set. Waiting.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Wentz to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
To throw is Wentz. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Devon Kennard in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Ezekiel Ansah in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions looking like they're going to come away with a victory. So out now come the Lions. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here.
40 gut.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll set them back 5. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3. Zebra! 53, check 53. Watch the run.
They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Detroit, they do finish things out with a victory here in the final week, but the victories were few and far between as they'll end the year 5-11. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, we'll have to see what happens as they're going to finish the year 10-6. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.